Welcome to the DYSON'S Effect,
a show about everyday situations, issues, and topics we talk about and give our opinions.
We may even listen to yours.
We are your hosts, Johnny
and Theresa,
also known as Mr. and Mrs. Dyson.
Hey. Look like it is recording. Hey. We're back. This is Johnny.
And this is Theresa.
And this is another episode of the
DYSON'S Effect.
So how you doing today, baby?
I'm alright.
Physically, how you doing? Any pains for the people that care and want to know how you doing body-wise?
No pain today. No.
Today, what pains did you have, if you had some?
Leg.
Your legs hurt from just was sore.
Yeah, I don't know. They just hurt.
How are you mentally?
Good.
Okay. Yeah, because the people that's not watching, they can't see your head shake. Well, doing pretty decent thus far. Got to launch the first part of the business, which is life coaching and the fitness training, everything coupled together, getting everything going. A lot of inquiries, a lot of people DMing me, contacting social media. It's a lot of talks thus far. I know one person said they don't know if they're ready for me yet because they've been seeing some of my posts and they don't know if they're ready to go that deep with me yet. I get it. And you also get what you pay for. But we also do got a good topic. Our sister gave us this topic, an interesting topic to say the least. I've seen something to this on something else that I've seen a while back on a Facebook group. But one of our sisters sent this. So, baby, could you read could you read the Instagram post? And this is basically the topic.
My husband wants to charge our daughter $100 rent. She's only 16 years old and feels like since she can spend her own money on whatever she wants, she can pay a bill. I asked him at what age did his mother charge him rent. He said 18, and my dad didn't make me start paying rent until I was 21. Now he can't see her bank account, so he doesn't know what she has in either her checking nor saving. But am I wrong for saying no to the rent payment since she is still in high school?
Okay, so before that, I think this has a lot to do with the upbringing of kids. Everybody got a different way of upbringing the kids. You know, could we say that as far as us growing up, no one taught us about bills and paying bills? Mm-hmm. Could we agree on that?
Mm-hmm.
So if no one taught us about paying bills, we kind of learn on the whim a little bit. Like, hey, this is what you do. And also with credit too, right? I don't want to get too far deep into credit, but also with credit too, right? Now, this is a tough one. So with the kids growing up, how many of your friends, if you could roughly think, that when they was getting some type of income coming in that their parents, I don't want to say took it, but I know in some cases the parents took the money, or
I don't think none of my friends was like that. My mom was like that, but I mean, I don't know of any friends that had to pay rent at 16.
So, well, this is the question then, because I guess money was different back then. I remember when I was younger, I think minimum wage was roughly around, I think it was like $4.25 at one time. I think when I was 30, it was like $4.25 at the time, or $4.75 or something like that. And you know what else is messed up? Some of these is horrible. Some of these jobs you get like 25-cent raises. Mm-hmm. I know certain people that get like a 5% raise, 10% raise, so on and so forth. Like the certain jobs that I had, they was based on performance, they was on all this, but they was at a minimum of at least 75 cents to it. Like, just think, like, you work a whole year and you get a whole 10 cents or 5 cents, and some jobs they try and max you out at a certain amount, and it's still not a lot of money. Like, this position only pays this amount and you reach your max. So just think, you know, mentally what that does to a kid. In my opinion, this is just my opinion, when they get like a whole 25-cent raise, like 25 cents. I'm from $4.25 to $4.50. Mm-hmm. Now my mom wants me to pay rent. So, out of all your sisters and brothers, which ones had to pay rent?
Oh, when they got older,
all of them.
And they was working, and you were staying with her, yes.
So you had to pay rent too?
Oh, I left.
So by the time, so what age was that?
I left at 18.
At 18. So by the time it was your time to pay rent, you said, I'll leave. Mm-hmm. Interesting, everyone. But your brothers had to pay at a younger age? Or it was all at 18?
I don't know. I think younger. Because I should have money at younger age. So.
Okay. So, do you think that was a good thing to do?
No.
Please elaborate. Why?
Because if you're a kid, why are you paying rent? That's not my responsibility. I didn't ask to be born to help you pay your bills. You signed up for these bills. You elected to have these kids, meaning you were able to take care of us, or should have been able to take care of us. So making a teenager pay bills at 16, rent at that, like, no, they don't even understand the value of money, let alone giving it to you to pay a bill that is technically not theirs. Nothing is in their name or should not be in their name.
Shouldn't. So
why am I paying for a bill at 16?
Or younger.
Like, just because I work, okay, there's other ways to go about it. But to say that I have to pay a bill, that would kind of disturb me as a teenager. To know that my parent or parents is trying to charge me rent.
Well, talk about that then. I mean, you say that's disturbing. That's disturbing how? I mean, because I had one friend, I think I had like one or two friends. I didn't have a lot. I'm trying to think. For one, there wasn't a lot of jobs in Benton Harbor, Michigan. Right now, my sister said that it's a lot of jobs there now. Ironically, at all times now is jobs, but
because nobody's working, nobody wants to work.
Right. So at the time, it wasn't hardly any jobs. I mean, it wasn't hardly any jobs, not any jobs. So the little jobs that we did a lot of different things with our money. But if you were, I think when I first got a job, I think I was like 14 or 15. If you're 14 or 15 with a job, should you just think about it. Should you know about responsibilities about paying bills? If you're like 14, 15.
I mean, I don't know.
That's a hard one.
I mean, I guess if they have a cell phone, you could say,
Nowadays,
hey, well, give me
good
$50 for
point.
your cell phone bill. Then that's understandable because this is my phone and I want to talk on it when I want to talk on it. And if I'm working, I kind of shouldn't expect you to pay for it. But kids nowadays expect you to pay for it. So a cell phone bill is maybe understandable because that's what, $50 at the most.
Yeah,
And even if you say, hey, yeah, I'm gonna charge my child something at 16 or 14, whatever, if they're working, then put it in a savings account. So when they get 18 or whatever, and they feel like they've been paying you rent for 2 years and they ready to move out on their own, you could be like, bam, here goes some furniture money, or here goes some, your deposit and all of this. And then in the end, I'm sure they'll be like, dang, you ain't even spend my money, or you wasn't paying my rent. I think that it'll be respected more than you taking from a 16-year-old supposedly for rent or bill and really doing it, because that's not their responsibility at that age. It's not their responsibility. They didn't ask to be born.
So the respect thing is the issue, because a child would respect it more if you was trying to like show them a lesson. It was like, oh, they didn't keep the money. That was good that they just put the money aside.
I think so, in opposed to like, dang, you really paying my bill? You really taking money from me at 16 and paying bills, like paying your bills that you accumulated?
So let's throw a monkey wrench in there a little bit.
Now I get if your family is really struggling, you're maybe have a single mom, or even if not, maybe someone gets laid off and funds is tight, and they come to you and say, hey, I know you're working this job and you kind of bring home decent money for a 16-year-old. Could you help us out for a couple months? I'm sure your child would understand, because they feel like, I'm helping my parents, or I'm helping us not become homeless, or the lights not being cut off, or whatever. But so I guess if that's a conversation you have, and that's understandable that you fell on hard times, and this is an extra income, then yes, that's cool. But just to do it out of spite because a child is working and you feel like they just do whatever they want to do with their money. I mean, they're 16, so obviously they ain't gonna do nothing but buy clothes and shoes and Uber Eats at that age anyway.
I just talked to a lady today. She was like, this food is for my daughter, and she just went on a rant about how this food, how her kids spend. No, was it David Arnold? I think he did one about how his kids spend all this damn money on Uber Eats.
I mean, our kids did it when they was here, every day, all day.
So I think the question, I think also what's interesting as far as respect-wise goes. So, okay, let's go back to my point. So when I say let's throw a monkey wrench in, as far as a monkey wrench go, a lot of these families that we grew up in, that our friends, let's say majority of the households or where we're from is from inner city single parent households, and the mother is basically getting by with whatever she has. So usually the dollar that she has in is stretching. So with the dollar that she has in is stretching, is it more in the matter of how she's coming to the child? Because at first she's saying like, hey, you need to start paying rent. You got this money, yada yada. Or it's be like, look, times is rough. do you mind pitching in some money to help with these bills? I think it's in the matter of it, because
Right.
a lot,
How
like,
you doing it? Are you saying that?
yeah, because there's a lot of people. We spoke about it before, about there are generational people that are living in the projects or income assistance living. So a lot of their situations have not changed, and the unlearned situations, the unlearned mentality of changing the ways that you live. With that being said, if you come to them more candidly, it'll be more different. Now, I want to say my grandfather and my great grandfather, different day and age and time, of course. He was the oldest out of like 10 siblings, and he had to work at like 9 or 10 years old to help feed everybody and all that stuff. And that's on my mother's side. As far as everybody goes that knew him and know of him, he gets the utmost respect for all that. He didn't have any education. He just stopped working, because I think the mother couldn't work. It was a lot going on. I can't remember. It was a lot going on at that time. But I think okay. Someone had left. One of the fathers had left and had to change his name because some people was after him. I think the Klan or something to that effect, or he killed someone or something like that, and so that's why my great grandfather or grandfather had to do what he can to make money at the time, at the youngest age he was. That's understandable. That's redeemable, if that makes sense. So that's like, hey, he's doing whatever he can. As the times was different. That was when loaves of bread was 5 cents and stuff like that. You know, to make money was different. You know, that's when, you know, I'm very analytical a little bit. You know, when you watch a lot of older movies, you ever pay attention to some older movies, they wear the same clothes every day because there wasn't a lot of changing clothes. Like, that's a simple luxury people don't know that you have. You know, you can change clothes every day. That's how good a lot of people have it. Like in some of these movies, especially like the Westerns, or like in certain times when people was in the Great Depression and all this stuff, they literally wore the same clothes every day, or probably had like 1 or 2, 3 outfits. That was it. That was it. That was it. So imagine you having to scrape up whatever you have to scrape. Not every month, like literally every day. Like I was watching something, and the kids would go out and work, and the mother would go out to work, and like by the end of the night, it was like right before dinner time, they all bring their money in and see what they can get to cook, and it was like bread and like rice, and it was something to that effect, like they had to eat that, and I was like, ooh. So that's understandable. Right.
Yeah, so some of the comments was like, somebody put, she's right, teach your child to save. They should live comfortably at home until they have enough money to leave. It's sad, but that's the problem with our community. Quick to make the kids pay rent or put them out without teaching them the fundamentals of money. Most foreigners' children live with them long after they are grown and married.
A lot of people can't spell on that.
The spouse even live in the homes with the wife, parents, grandparents, and great-grandparents.
Sometimes that is true, yes.
She's 16, but she's working. She wants to be responsible. Teach her right. $100 is nothing. She will then be ready, because I never paid a bill when I was a teen, and I stayed with money. Me not having any responsibilities is why I'm so bad with money now.
That's 2 sides of a coin right there, isn't it? But but see, this is the interesting thing, though. If we're It's almost like if there's an elephant in the room, it's no longer the elephant in the room. Meaning, if you know you're bad with money, how long can you say I'm bad with money because of this?
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Especially if you're an adult, you bad with money because you bad with money.
Right. Like so,
ain't got nothing to do with because your parents didn't do something when you were 16.
Let's just give it the benefit of the doubt. Let's just play opposite advocate. I'm gonna stop saying devil's advocate too. I'm trying to say opposite advocate. Let's just say opposite advocate. So if I'm bad with money because my parents never taught me, like, let's say I learned that in my 20s. Can I keep saying I'm bad with money because of that? Because at that point I know I have to learn then, right? Mm-hmm. Right. So like if I'm 25, right, and I say, man, I'm bad with money, man. My parents didn't teach me nothing. That means that's the point when you take responsibility for it, isn't it? Like how long will we? Case in point. I tell my kids all the time what to do with money. That doesn't mean they want to listen. Doesn't mean they're going to do it. I can educate you all the time, but if you bad with money, or let's just say if I didn't teach you the way you wanted me to teach you, or to feed you certain information the way you wanted me to feed you information, is that my fault because you wasn't receptive to it at that time? Mm-hmm. And then on top of it, like, kids is gonna blow money. If you don't have any, I don't think they should have any responsibility. I think you should have a phase, because I've seen kids that come from money, and I've lived, and we grew up with no money. But the kids that I've seen that come from a little bit of money, they don't respect money either. It's just different because they got it. They don't respect money like, oh yeah, I gotta save $100. Like, not all the time. They just have a cash flow of money coming in from a certain place. Right, so it's not like they respect it more because they learned about money. Like, there's only, and people can Google this, there's only so many people that is considered the elite that knows what to do with money. There's only so many people. The problem that black and brown people, and maybe some minorities and some lower income people can make the argument. The argument is not so much that we don't know what to do with money education, so to speak. It's not that much of it, although it does hold weight. The concern comes in to we don't have consistent income. The problem is we don't have consistent income. We always getting a job here, getting a job there. Might lose our job because of this. Gotta wait till we get another job because of this. The days of people, as I said before, the days of people staying with a company for 20 and 30 and 40 and 50 years are gone. So that person had a consistent income. So if that person that was there for 30, 40, or 50 years, yes, they had a more solid, consistent income to know what to do with their money to be educated. I mean, what good is education on money if your money is not consistent coming in because you're robbing Peter to pay Paul? Yeah, I know what to do. Right now, I know what to do with $2, $3, $4, $5 million and never be broke again. But if my income changes, like, so what? So what? Like, you could live off interest for the rest of your life, but no one talks about living off interest or any of that sort. So, I mean, yeah, you could live off interest. You could live off bonds. You could live off all this stuff. We talked about it before. Like, how much money would it take for you to quit your job? Now, whatever that number is, if you blow all that money, you got to go back to work, right? So you gonna blame that on your parents because you didn't? You see what I'm saying? You gonna blame that on your parents because you 40 something or you 50 something and you don't know what to do with your money?
Right. Somebody said stop using your kids to pay y'all bills. This is wrong. That is wrong. My mom did that to me and it only made me want to leave sooner, and I did. She will have plenty of time to pay bills later in life with no return. I think that's a true statement as well, because like I said, I feel like If I'm this age and I'm paying you rent, as soon as 18 come, I'm out of here because I could pay my own damn rent. Like, why am I gonna keep paying your rent and I could just go do the same? Yeah, I ain't gonna pay $100, but at the same time, I'm gonna go to where I can make more money to pay my own bills because I've been paying you for the last 2 years, so obviously I can pay some bills. So
Yeah.
I think that would force your child out sooner than when they are ready, because a lot of kids are not ready to go at 18. They think they are, but they not, especially financially. And a lot of us, once our kids get 18, we think, oh, we done with you. You got to go. You got to get out of here. You grown. You this and that. In opposed to saying, okay.
Is that good? Is that good parenting?
No, because to me, you throwing your child out there to possibly turn to drugs because they so stressed out about how they gonna pay bills. Getting turned out to other things, or possibly being homeless, and
she get, she
and with these kids these days, they get depressed very easily.
Oh, they so emotional.
It's like if you're just putting me out at 18, nowhere to go, don't know how to do this, don't know how to do that. That's a shock to them because they're not ready. Yeah, they can holler all they want to. Oh, I can't wait till I'm 18. But how many 18-year-olds are really ready to go to the world? It's not many. It may be a handful, if that.
Were you ready?
Yes.
At 18?
Yes.
Mentally?
Yes. Was our kids ready? No. I'm a different breed from them. I'm an 80s baby. So I grew up. A lot of these kids are still very immature at 21, let alone 18.
25.
So yeah, I was ready. I moved out at 18, never went back, never been evicted, never had lights cut off, never nothing. So yes, I was ready.
I don't agree with putting kids out because I've seen the other side of it. I've seen when the kids did get put out and their parents put them out, it didn't. For some reason, certain parents think that is the golden rule. You did a good job. Like, yeah, now go live your life. Now you got to go, this and that. For some reason, I don't know who came up with this rule when you put kids out at a certain age, or who came up with this rule when the kids got to move out. And
because it was done to them, so they're just repeating what was done to them.
Even if you go back, let's see if we can go back as far as you can go. I don't know where that came from, like where that became a good. Now, I'll say this. As far as income assistance, I know certain situations you couldn't have a kid older than 18 living with you sometimes. Just as well as a man couldn't be living with you. But it poses the question, like, when are we gonna take responsibility for the wrong that was done in our community and in our family? Like, great grandma or grandma say, yeah, you did a good job on this, you did a good job on that, but hey, that was messed up. That was not right. That was wrong. Even to the degree of the old saying is, what goes on in this house stays in this house. Like, even that is wrong. Like, that's caused a lot of other issues in the house. So
a lot of secrets.
A lot of secrets that need to be let out. So we have to take responsibility. Like I said, the hardest thing we can do is take accountability for our mess ups. And I know I was listening to a podcast the other day, and the young woman was saying that she tried to come to her mother and have a discussion that, for one, older parents don't like to have no discussion about different things this day and age and time. They just not vocally on that in that respects a lot of times. And in this conversation, she was trying to bring to her mother, like, hey, this is going on now with spankings. And this is the conversation. Not that, was it a good idea that you did it? None of that. Her mother just broke out. Oh, these people think they better than us? They think they better than us because they don't have to whoop their kids now and this and that and this and that. And she was just like, whoa. I was just trying to have a conversation. Because a lot of people can't have that type of conversation because they get it real offensive. So, equate that back to the parenting situation. If you want to charge your kids money for rent, there's other things you can do to show the child responsibility that doesn't have to do with finances. Like, you can give them responsibilities for watching over the bills. You can give them responsibilities for, it's some people, like, why would you charge your kids rent when they can't even keep the house clean?
Right.
Like, it's many things that they can do, and it's ways. There's ways you can get them uncomfortable so they don't want to live there anyway.
Say, hey, you don't clean up your chores or do your chores when you're supposed to. I need $5.
Right. Something to that effect.
Yeah.
Something to that effect.
You don't do what you're supposed to do around this house. You got to pay me basically $5 or. But these kids so lazy, they probably be like, all right, well, I ain't gonna wash dishes. I'm just gonna give you $5.
Right. That's how I pay for it. Like, but then, is it this? I guess this is the thing. So I'm gonna play opposite advocate on this. Do you think the father is seeing it disheartening because the kid? Think of it this way: you work hard all through the day, right? Mm-hmm. And you got to come home. It won't matter to me and you, but just think of the person that did. You got to come home, fix you something to eat, and here you're 16, 15, 16, because I'm going to say 15 because now they're working at 15 now. 15, 16-year-old getting Uber Eats and don't want what you cook. So now they got a choice now. So now they getting somebody dropping off food to them, and you just like, I done spent my hard-earned money to get you this hamburger helper, and you getting McDonald's brought to you? Or, in certain situations, what I'm seeing now, you getting beauty supplies brought to you now? So they can order beauty supplies, stuff from the beauty supply store, can bring it right to their doorstep. You getting this stuff brought to you, and I'm out here slaving, and you living under my house you see what I'm saying? So what do you think about that? Do you see that as an issue?
I mean, yes and no.
Explain the yes part. Break it down, Shotty. Break it down.
I guess if I just went and spent my $200-300 on cash and I come home and I cook this meal and you got Uber Eats at the door, then that's a problem because, well, I guess at that age it could be a problem.
At 60, 50.
Because then it's like you saying F what I cook. I'm gonna do this because I got my own money. So then guess that's a problem because you're still a child. You're just a child with a little bit of money. So yes, it still would have to be some kind of boundaries and some kind of rules being set. It's just because you have a job, it does not make you grown. So if it gets to that point to where you feel like because you have your own money, you can do what you want to do, then I probably would be like, all right, well, what bill you gonna pay or what you finna do since you think you grown?
Well, that's what the person is basically saying in other words. Or look at it this way. It's like, well, okay, well, look, I'm not going to buy what you want. Because, let's be honest. What you would do, you would ask the kids what y'all want me to cook. And it was grown. And I used to say, what you asking them for? They going to eat whatever's in the house. Because they ain't do nothing but do what? Order or Uber Eats, DoorDash anyway. Grown, 16, 17, I ain't actually cooking none of that stuff. Or you be like, well, I'll cook it if you buy it. And no, I ain't doing no still wasting my time. So, Which is another question is there a line when it comes to them working on them being spoiled? On them being spoiled, is there a line? Basically, is there a gray area or is it a line? Basically, like, you know, if you've been working, if they're 15 or 16 years old, they only can work so many hours anyway. Mm-hmm. Right? So
probably part-time,
part-time,
sure. 20 hours.
20,
10,
maybe
20
30.
hours, yeah.
So if you're seeing them blow all their money or not being responsible with their money,
I think if I see them not being responsible with their money, then I would probably create something to make it seem like they are paying a bill, but not really paying a bill.
What's responsible for a 15 or 16-year-old with their money? What is responsible? Give me an example.
You get paid Wednesday, and by Friday, you asking me for money to go to the football game with you at school.
That's irresponsible.
Yeah, because where your money went in 2 days. You ain't got no bills.
Right.
So where it go? Who you just give it to? Because that's what you did.
Or blew it. You know, kids can eat up.
That's what I'm saying. So if you can blow it in 2 days, then it's time. It's something has to give, because you can't expect to have a job, not do anything responsible with your money, and then ask me for money. That's what I had to tell them. Like, they would get paid Uber Eat all weekend. Come Monday, can you cash out me $10? Fuck no. Where your money go?
Yeah.
You think you just finna blow your money and spend mine?
Mm-hmm.
Y'all you smoking some crack.
Yeah, but as I said before, that is exactly why they asked you. When they asked you, they basically knew who they had. They know they can't ask me for no money.
Yes, they can.
After they get paid, they can ask me for some money.
You probably wouldn't know they got paid. I know they be getting paid, because I'm in their business like that.
I don't know when they get paid, but I won't give them no money like that, no way. I won't give them no money like that, no way.
I know now when Johnny get paid. If he asks me for some money, I'll be like, didn't you just get paid? Because I know. They tell me.
I don't care. I ain't giving you no money. I ain't giving you no money. I'll give you a couple dollars. I'll give you two and few. You know what I'm saying? Especially for my grandson. He can get that. But I ain't give you no money. You don't need no money. What you need some money for?
So yeah, I think if they blowing it like that, then yes, they need something to make them responsible and make it seem like, hey, I just got paid. I can't blow all my money because I gotta put $50 on this, or it don't even have to be a whole $100.
Right.
It could be I gotta pay $50, so I know at least I think doing that would make them not blow it all, because they know some of that got to go to this or go there or go into the savings.
When I had my first job as a dishwasher at this restaurant called Bill Knapp's, I was hustling on the side too, which is another story. But you smell snitch. No. That wasn't my first job. My first job was working for the Benton Harbor area schools for the summer job.
I used to do summer jobs. Yeah, I don't think they do summer jobs anymore.
That's a good program too for kids, summer jobs.
Because you was able to work at 14.
You was able to work at 14. I think I was 14 or 15. And basically what I did was, dang, this is a long time.
On top of that, probably would keep a lot of kids out of trouble.
That's a good program. Okay, we also, I'm not sure, I think Ohio tried to have this, so I don't know which states have this or not, but they used to have snacks and lunches given away free at parks, right? So for people that don't know,
they do them in like the urban
area.
Poor area.
I haven't seen it.
They sent out emails from the school that
I do it.
They was doing it. I don't know about at parks, but at schools here in Georgia.
Yeah, so I think it was at parks and schools. So basically, what it was in these certain areas, poverty-stricken urban areas, they would have people that would give out
lunches
and snacks. And the lunches.
I want to say no, it wasn't breakfast. It was just
one
lunch.
breakfast. It was lunches, and basically it was like a sack lunch.
Yeah.
Like a little sandwich, a pickle, and an apple, or something like that, or carrots, and a milk. It was all of that. And then for
snack,
it'd be
be
like a muffin and apple juice, or a donut.
Yeah, we used to get them.
So, where I worked at the Ben Harbor High School, where they packaged all that stuff up, and the crates and the milk and all that stuff I just had to rinse them out and put them up. So I had to package all the lunches. I think I had to package all the milk up, all the apple juice up, and I had to package all that up. That's it. And I done that. It was like three of us that had that job. And it was somewhere in the Ben Harbor area school building. I don't even remember where it was. It's crazy. Matter of fact, I think it was at one of the junior high schools where it was at. And we basically was packing money. They would send them all out. But that was my first job. My first job at 14 or 15 years old. And the second job was the dishwasher job, I think. But with my first job, I had it for a summer. So with that job, my mother didn't say I had to pay her rent or anything like that. But what I did was I bought my own school clothes. I bought my own shoes.
Now I think that's okay to do if you're working, especially if you're working all summer. To take a load off your parent, I don't think that's an issue. I think you should be able to get your own shoes, your own at least first week of school, clothes. And then it'll be things you want. So if you want a $200 pair of shoes, you work for it all summer, so you can go get it.
But that's my point. When I'm saying that's showing a little bit of
So
responsibility.
yeah, I think if you do something to that sort, and you're showing like I'm stacking on my checks because I'm gonna go school shopping for myself, then yes, that's cool. I'm still not gonna charge my child rent at 16. Even if they're jacking their money off, we'll just try to figure out another way to get you to be a little bit more responsible.
That's a dictionary for everyone that's listening. That's a Ben Harbor slang that we say. It's called jacking your money off. It means you're blowing your money. For the people that don't know. Boy, you done jacked your money off. Get it because you blew it. No, I think letting them, and I think I gave my mama money too. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, I also gave my mama money for other certain things. Like I was giving my money too. I don't remember what it was for, but I think I was giving my mom money because to buy clothes for 6 people was a lot. So I used to give my mom money, and I bought my own clothes and shoes. But within that, you learn the value of a dollar. That's what I was getting to. You learn the value of a dollar. You learn you got to buy all your shoes. Just think if I know, and just me personally, I've always been pretty decent with saving money. So if I learn to, I'm only gonna work this amount of time, and I got to buy my school clothes, my shoes, and so on and so forth. I know I got to I only got $200 to give me 2 pair of shoes this time, right? Mm-hmm. I ain't finna spend on no Jordans or no foam posits or whatever. I know I only got X amount of dollars. So I think that shows a little bit of responsibility of hey, seeing how you can make your money stretch. So with that being said, do you think it's a good idea to charge your kids rent? And did we charge our kids rent for the people that want?
No, we did not charge them, and no, it's not a good idea.
It's not a good idea?
No,
do you think
not
we
at
should?
16.
You think we should have?
No.
No, we should have charged them
They
50
still
cents.
don't know how to manage money, so I don't even know at this point.
I don't think we should have. I wanted to charge them and then like save
Save
the money
it,
up,
put it up.
and then like help them get like furniture. That was a goal. That was a goal that I had, just to show them like, I ain't want your money. I just want to teach you, to balance your budget and so on and so forth. Now, all through growing up, I showed them different amount of things to do with money. I showed them different, whether they took it on or not. I guess they could say that's our responsibility still, if that falls on us. But if I show you things 10 times and you don't get it, is it on me for not showing you a different way, or not, or is it on you for not really getting it, or you not asking enough questions for you to get it? It's kind of a gray area. Like, I don't know, but no, I don't think you should charge kids rent. I don't think you should charge any child rent after a certain age. Like, when they get in the double digits, like in the 20s, I think you should start charging them rent, but also give them guidance. Like, I don't want your money. I want you to get out this world and be successful. Because what people are forgetting is these kids that you may or may not mistreat, or may not educate, or may not give them the right tools. It's a possible chance that these same kids is going to be with someone else with these lessons that you're teaching them, for one. And two, fortunately and unfortunately, these kids, they may have to take care of you. Right? So since these kids may have to take care of you, could you imagine, like, I was listening to a podcast years ago, and he was telling me how he hated his grandmother and how she gave him a rough upbringing, and he eventually had to take care of her because everyone else that she loved, that she spoiled, they didn't want to take her in. The person that she treated the worst took her in and treated her the best. But could you imagine the person that you brought up wrong and now
has to take care of
you and not giving you the best living conditions that you could imagine? Because we don't know what the future may hold, if you would be single or whatever it may be, or like some people, if they can afford it, they'll put their parents in a nursing home. Right, wrong, and indifferent. It's just like, that's where the chips may lay. But at the same time, how you teach these kids is how they're going to be brought back to you in the same situation, in some way, shape, form, or fashion. So I don't think we should be putting our kids out. I think we should, which is everlasting in my opinion, I think we should be versatile in our learning. Like, if someone could say, or my kids could say, like, hey, I didn't learn that. I could say, hey, I did, but you didn't get it. Okay, when do you take responsibility on what you didn't learn? And maybe I can teach you again, or you can get out there and learn on your own because you X amount of years old now.
Right.
X amount of years young now. So, no, I don't think we should put these kids out, and I think these kids got it way more better than we do. So putting them out is recreating a cycle.
A never-ending cycle.
Of someone being impoverished, in my opinion. Because just because you put them out don't mean they're going to figure it out.
They're going to succeed, and they're going to figure it out.
It doesn't, just because someone did it to you, or it has been done, doesn't make it a good idea.
Right, because you beat it, or you figured it out.
Just because you beat the odds and figured it out. Like, our kids are not as smart as we are, and they don't have to be.
And they didn't struggle like we struggled.
So they don't have to figure it out like we had to figure it out. They don't have to figure it out. Like, we wasn't getting no Uber Eats or someone bringing us a hot meal. Like
you better be lucky if it's a hot meal in the kitchen.
Like, the world, even if you're not, and this is what I was thinking about today. Even if we are not spoiling our kids, the world is spoiling them. Like, technology spoils them. It's hard for me to tell my kids, like, don't, or if I was to tell my kids, don't waste your money on Uber Eats and Dash, that type of money. But the world is so manipulative on making that a convenient thing. That's so convenient to get McDonald's sent to your house for only an extra $3 now, or extra $5. Like, why not?
Yeah, like Gianna had Uber come, and bring her like candy and stuff. I was like, so you couldn't ask nobody to take you down the street to Dollar General? Like, why was that an option?
Right. Like they don't.
Dairy ice cream from Dairy Queen.
Right. I seen somebody do it the other day. They ordered a Blizzard.
Why would you even order that?
No. People ordered 6 smoothies one time. 6 smoothies. Where you gonna put 6 smoothies at? Wait, just where? And they was going all the way to Villarica. Right? It's
So
like
they're gonna be
15
melted
minutes.
by the time I get there.
So, as long as these kids are receptive to learn, I think that's an opportunity. I don't think we should be charging rent. I think we should be becoming more versatile in the learning. If the father can't reach them a certain way, if the mother can't reach them a certain way, hopefully it'd be other ways that they could learn, different ways of being responsible, different ways of learning with their money, different ways of being an adult that they can survive in these different day and age of time with so much technology now, with so much, oh my God, so much technology. They don't even have to go to the grocery store. Just imagine, if you literally want to, you can stay at home. Your groceries can be delivered to you, food can be delivered to you, shoes can be delivered to you, like
Everything. You don't
everything.
have to leave.
You don't have to leave. So how can you? It's hard to teach someone responsibility when everything can be waited on them, foot in hand, and just by a touch on their phone. But that's it. That's it. So I don't think you should be charging the rent. We don't think you should be charging the rent, but hey.
To each his own.
Well, yeah, but somebody gonna be left to deal with these poor kids too then. So we're gonna wrap it up. Please get in contact with us. Follow her on social media at
I am his Mrs. Dyson.
and
Mrs. Curvy Flavors.
And our email is thedysonseffect@hotmail.com, and follow us on all social media handles at The Dyson's Effect. Follow me as your benevolent coach, the one and only, the good coach, the best coach out there, the one that doesn't play no games, y'all. And benevolent coach on Twitter. And always, to end it on the midnight hour, this is Johnny.
This is Theresa.
And this is another episode of The
Dyson's Effect.
Peace, Love,